Hello, my name is Jeff Rolka. This is the very first installment of a new event that I'm going to be doing. We're going to see. I think the tentative release date is going to be Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure which. I know this one's scheduled for Tuesday. I decided to do it today because I kind of felt like it, and it seemed like fun, and I thought no one would be upset if it came a little bit early instead of on Tuesday. So I often find a lot of really good comments, questions in the comment sections throughout the videos. And rather than type out all these responses, I wanted to begin to do them in this live format. But I didn't want to just do another video and then upload it like all the rest of my videos. I thought I would do something a little bit different. So this is a live stream, and if you happen to catch it live, then you're catching it live. I don't have the chat enabled, so we can't actually interact, which is unfortunate to a certain extent. But this lets me deal really succinctly with the questions, get some really good information out there to the people who've asked these kinds of questions, and then do more. So I'm planning on making this a regular thing for the next 3 months, and if it looks like it's doing well and people like it, then I'll keep on doing it. And if not, then I'll do something different. So here are the questions for number 1, singing questions answered number 1. FYI, if anyone wants to leave a comment about a better title for this series, I am all ears. I love your videos, it helped me a lot. When I practice with this video, I feel in tune. When I'm going to sing with more instruments, it's difficult to feel in tune. Second question, could you make a video about breathing, diaphragmatic, etc.? Maybe some exercises. Finally, I start getting what it's about. Just need to train myself a little further. Next question, what is the range of the baritone range? Right, what is the range of the baritone range? And 2 more questions. Trying to get my range lower. I'm a mezzo, and I have focused on the higher register, but now would like some tips for going the other way. Mahalo. And then finally, how do you do modal minor scales and or chromatic scales with solfege? Which is really, really cool question. So there's a couple easy answers in here. First of all, for the question regarding diaphragmatic breathing, YouTube uses a system of cards, and if you don't have your ads blocked, then there'll be a little icon in the upper right-hand screen with an eye in it. What I have done is I have put links and playlist links in that system. So there's a link to the diaphragmatic breathing videos. Now the links that I provide in there are for the exercise videos. They're practical videos, practice videos. And the idea is that you work along with the video, sing the exercises, and work towards maintaining really, really good engagement, lateral expansion of the rib cage, all those good things that come with the Apagio breath management system. And that is point 2 in regards to that question. The Apagio breath management system is the system of breathing and engagement that I myself study and also teach. There is a video of mine called Apagio breathing or Apagio breath management. You can search my channel and easily find that, and that will explain the method behind the technique, but it's not a practice video. You don't really practice along with it. The links that I put in the cards there are practice videos. There are a couple other links. For the mezzo who is asking about going lower, I put a link to how to sing lower notes for higher range voices. Mezzo-soprano is a higher range voice. The video will take you through some of the practices that I employ in order to help vocalists balance out their lower register. Now, there's a finite, finite depth we can go to for each of our instruments, our voices, and there's a finite area on the upper end too. The one tip, if I had one tip to give you as you practice down there, is to think about being a little lighter for starters. I'd pick a narrow vowel like I chose E there, pick a narrower vowel and focus on making your descent light, so that we want to avoid pushing into the low registers of our voice. If we start off by really kind of trying to, and we're really stretching down with the larynx, that's going to make it harder for us to sing effectively in that range. So be a little bit less in volume, make a little diminuendo, or get subtly softer as you make your descent. And that too can help maintain that nice balanced mode of phonation, that nice balanced singing. And you can start to integrate that range of your voice more effectively into the songs that you are singing. What is the range? What is the baritone's range? Now, when we talk about range, we're talking about vocal Fach, F-A-C-H. And this was a designation that came about from a German school of voice, and it was a way to help categorize voices to determine what operatic roles were most appropriate for the individual's instrument, their voice. In other words, if you're singing popular music, I wouldn't really worry about this too much. Focus on making good transitions and learning about your voice. Find out where the primo and secondo passagios are, and learn to sing through them seamlessly in a balanced mode of phonation with a balanced voice, and you will be in very, very good shape for the music that you want to sing. If you happen to be an opera singer, or you're studying voice to that end, then Fach is perhaps a little bit more important. But the voice is greater than the Fach, I guess, is what I'd like to say. How you learn to use what you have is more important than what you have. So, case in point, I always, whenever these questions come up, I always think about one of my old instructors, who was a very, very well-known male opera singer, who was definitively a baritone, but was always singing these tenor roles because he made such brilliant transitions through the secondo passaggio and had developed his upper register so well. So, there is a finite point that you can do that to, but it's about how you learn to use what you have. The baritone range, however, is typically defined in a myriad of, just like all the different Fachs, there are a number of different considerations that are considered when we define Fach. The primo passaggio for the baritone voices is going to be, I have to look at the piano here, be between A and B right below middle C. Those are the baritone Fach. So between lyric, dramatic, and bass baritone, I think is on an A natural, is the primo passaggio. The secondo passaggio, what is commonly thought of as the break, for those Fachs will be a perfect fourth higher. So for the bass baritone, around D. For the dramatic, E flat. For the lyric, around E above middle C. The other aspects of a given individual's voice will also determine how that classification is refined. So a baritone that has an incredibly robust low end, but also has really, really great sustain and has great accessibility to their upper register is going to get a different designation than one that really doesn't have as much sustaining engagement at the secondo passaggio, so on and so forth. Those are, we take all of these things into consideration when we make a determination on a vocal Fach, on a vocal range designation. But big key point in determining vocal Fach is the primo and secondo passaggios, and those are the transition points for the baritone ranges. Now, two remaining questions. When I practice, I feel in tune with the videos. When I sing with instruments, it's difficult to feel in tune. Now, the interesting thing about that question is the use of the word feel, because it's entirely possible to feel like you're being out of tune or singing out of tune, but actually be in tune. Now, if you feel like you're out of tune, and you are out of tune, that too can happen for a number of different reasons. For one, the first thing that comes to mind in this question is that if you are singing along with the video, and maybe you've got your headphones in, and you got one out so you can really hear yourself well, then that's a pretty user-friendly kind of environment. If you've got a bunch of instruments going and it's really loud, and if you're using a mic and you can't hear yourself, all of a sudden all these different variables are introduced in the scenario. In that case, it could be difficult even to hear yourself over all of the instruments. When there's a lot of instruments, the tendency is to push. When we push, we tend to strain the musculature around the larynx, and that usually makes us go out of tune. And if that's what's occurring, then there are a number of different things that need to take place in order to rectify the situation. One might be to try using some earplugs. If possible, in-ear monitors would be fantastic. That would be the best scenario, so that way you could really hear yourself well, but you would also hear the mix, and you could really evaluate your performance in real time effectively. Earplugs I mentioned. Trying to get the instrumentalists to be a little softer would also be really good too. Now, if you just feel like you're out of tune, but you are in fact singing in tune, then that can be a very different matter. Of course, one of the key places that we tend to feel like we're out of tune, but we tend to be in tune, is when we're ascending above the secondo passaggio. The internal experience of that can be quite different from the external experience of it. But getting a little bit even more removed from that, the exercises on my channel are predominantly done with what I would call the cardinal vowels, E, A, A, O, and U. And I put these vowels into sequences to get specific effects within the video. So if it's a video on focusing A, then I'm going to use combinations of narrow and wide vowels to help get A situated so that it resonates similarly to the rest of the vowels. You'll see it, like the common one that I'm really fond of is this one. A, I, E, A, I, E. So if you as a singer tend to widen your A quite a lot, A, I, E, where it gets kind of poorly adducted, it gets a little bit abducted, then sandwiching it between A and E, those two much more narrow vowels, can help to keep the vocal fold adducted while you move through A. And with practice, that then becomes the habit for A, and you've got good vowel alignment. So I say all that to say the videos are built in a way to help you be successful. Songs are not built to help you be successful. They're songs. They're made for different reasons. Not good or bad, it's just different. They're not necessarily always thinking about what is best for you as a vocalist, particularly if you didn't write the song. So what can you do? Practice your melodies with the lip trill for starters. Practice your melodies then after you feel comfortable with that, practice them with a solid vowel. One of my favorite exercises, though it can be kind of a pain to get used to, is to take all the consonants out of the song that you are singing and sing the melody in rhythm with only the vowel sounds from the words. So like if you had a line that went, I'm just thinking this off the top of my head, so I'm thinking of be the cat. I know that doesn't mean anything objectively unless, like be the cat. So you're going to be the cat. It's ridiculous, I know, but whatever. I'm just making stuff up. So be the cat, be the cat. Let's just do that. Be the cat. We practice getting those vowels in alignment, and then we put the consonants back in, focusing on maintaining that vowel alignment. Like I said, that can be a rather painstaking exercise, but you will reap tremendous benefits from it. And even if you just do a few passages, you don't have to do the whole song. Just do like the problem spots, or where you notice that things are changing a little bit for you. Finally, how do you do modal minor scales and or chromatic scales with solfege? So this is a really, really cool question. And I'm going to take it from back to front. Chromatic scales, I would use the sharped syllables ascending and the flatted syllables descending. So, but that begs the question of where your tonal center is, because I use the mixed do system. So even though this is where I'm starting and ending, it's not necessarily do, but I would treat it as such. I would sing do, di, re, re, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, li, ti, do. And that gets you an octave up. And then on the way down, do, te, la, le, so, se, fa, fe, mi, me, re, ra, do. And the ra there is because the re has what is used for the flatted syllables elsewhere, you get ra on the descending scale. For modal minor scales, it kind of depends on whether or not you're changing. It depends on how much you're moving tonalities when you're doing those scales. So let's say that, thinking off the top of my head here, let's say that you're in A Aeolian. Okay, so that's the natural minor for the key of C major, the relative minor for the key of C major, right? If I'm going to be staying in that, if that's my tonal center, and I'm going to be staying in that tonal center, then I am going to keep my solfege syllables as they would be assigned if I were staying in that tonal center. So you would have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do. And if I were starting this from re, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, re, and so on and so forth throughout the permutations of that minor. If I'm changing keys, or even if I'm not changing keys, but I'm definitively moving towards a different tonality, then the solfege, because I use movable do, the solfege will reflect the new tonal center, and it will be adjusted so that do corresponds to the tonic of the new tonal center. In doing that, you really have to consider how long you're going to be changing to the different tonal center. If it's for less than a bar of time, then I wouldn't do it. We used to call that a tonicization. I don't know if that's still widely used or not. But when the change of tonal center, the change of key was only for a short period, then we'd only do that for a little bit, or we wouldn't change the solfege. For greater than a bar, or even if it's going to continue in perpetuity in the rest of the tune, then the solfege would be changed to reflect it. And that's it. Those are the questions for this very first singing questions answered. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for watching. If you want to support this channel, there are also some links in the cards that will help you do that. And you can also check, actually I don't think I put it in the description for this, but I will. Thank you so much for watching. Take really good care of your voices, enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.